Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever the heck time it is you're watching this. Have a good one. Today, I would like to say a few things to probably mostly guys. What I have to say to you is about how to talk to girls. Now, there might be a few lesbians out there that aren't quite sure, but they're girls, so I'm pretty sure they get this. About 3 months ago, I moved to a brand new middle of nowhere, and it kind of tanked. Apparently, the only thing to do around here is sex, and, to just typically make a tit biscuit out of yourself. Not exactly my cup of tea. So, since I've been here, I have been hit on more than I have in my entire life. This is ridiculous. This town, I kid you not, it is so small. It is like a pimple on the face of Florida. Okay? Douche strudels. Based on my experiences, I can tell you, what they did wrong, what you could have done right. So, I was going through Walmart one day. And, I went there with my poppy. He's in his mid-80s. He is the cutest old man that ever lived, except that he still says that he's middle-aged. And I'm going to say, hey, kudos, I'm going to agree with you. So, we ended up splitting up because I had to go get stuff one place. He had to go get stuff another place in the store. We're both adults here, so you'd think I wouldn't need a travel buddy because I'm an adult, right? Well, within minutes of parting ways with my poppy, some guy starts following me throughout the entire frickin' store. I can only see him out of my peripheral vision, but it's the same guy the entire time. Just through the hygiene section, through the toy aisle. He followed me through the frickin' toy aisle. And finally, in the craft aisle, I was all alone. I was like, screw this. I gotta turn around and set him straight. So I did turn around. But as soon as I start turning around, he had already started reaching for me. I start turning around. He ran away. And I'm like, okay, I just almost got mugged in Walmart. That's got to be a new one for somebody. The thing that he did wrong that time was he was creepy. He didn't say anything, and he ran away. If he had, just stuck around to give me some BS story about why he was following me, like, hey, I thought you were somebody else, I wouldn't have believed it, but it would have been, a lot less incriminating than, oh, I'm gonna run away because I was about to freaking rape you. He did that completely wrong. Anyway, so that's example number 1. If you want to talk to a girl, don't follow her, actually say something to her. And then if she invites you to, keep on walking with her or whatever, or, you can ask if she doesn't mind or something, but just following her around like a creeper and then reaching for her and running when she turns around because she just kind of blew your cover. Rape is not cool. Don't do it. Example number 2 is as I was leaving Publix with my poppy. We're walking out. We just picked up the grocery bags out of the cart because we could carry them all. We didn't need the cart to get to the car. And there's this group of guys. There's like 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. I made it a point not to look at them. They all had hair that was really, really short. So it was like either buzzed or they were just straight up bald. Pretty soon, they noticed me. Okay, so first they were just talking really loud about one guy not being able to seal the deal at the movie theater. Who the heck has sex inside of a movie theater? Movies are a place to watch a movie, not a place to sneak in some snogging. If you want to sneak in some snogging, then, well, there's not really a whole lot of good places in public to do that. If she wants to, then yeah, she'll let you be alone with her. If she doesn't want to, then you're SOL, don't push it. Anyway, they're talking loudly. They were telling him what he did wrong, what he should have done instead to actually get her to cooperate. And that's when they noticed me and my not-so-little friends. Keep in mind, I'm with my 80-something-year-old poppy, and they still started making catcalls at me. They were being really loud and obnoxious, and they were trying to get my attention. I was like, not gonna look, not gonna look, not gonna look. What the heck is wrong with these people? As luck would have it, they were parked next to us. I get in the car. Poppy, I don't know what he was doing. It took him a minute to get in. They actually walked up to my window and started, waving at me and trying to get my attention and hollering at me. I pulled out my phone. And as soon as they saw me messing with my phone, they went ahead and got in the van. I don't know, maybe they thought I was actually going to call the police. Not a bad idea. They've got one of those really big, ugly vans that teenagers have sex in all the time. They get in the van, Poppy gets in the car, and we're waiting for them to pull out. Well, he's waiting for them to pull out. At this point, I'm just like, I want to get the heck out of there. They turn on their van, they start flashing the inside lights on and off and revving their engine. And, still, I don't know if they were trying to get my attention that time, or if they were just, trying to challenge my puppy's rickety old car to a race, which is doubtful because I'm pretty sure that the wheels would fall off. Guys, here is what they did wrong. For one thing, never, ever, ever hit on a girl when she's with her parents or her grandparents, okay? Because for one thing, that's just completely disrespectful. For another thing, if she's with her dad, most guys, brave enough to not. Still hitting on her anyway if she's with her dad, that's gonna just be a warning to her right there. It's like, oh crap, he's not afraid of my dad. I'm gonna be in really big trouble if I let him around with me. If she's with her grandpa, that's completely it's rude, okay? Because he's old, he can't take care of her the way that he wishes that he could. I'm fortunate my puppy was completely oblivious to this because he needs his hearing aids checked. But, still, that's just, no, you do not do that. You don't disturb old people. Let them live in peace. Another thing, girls don't like to be hollered at. They really do not like it. I mean, there's a part of their brain where it's like, oh, I must be looking pretty good if they're hollering at me, but for the most part, it's like, gosh, am I nothing but a pair of tits and a vagina? Girls are more than that. We wouldn't be able to annoy you if we were only tits and a vagina. Think about it. If you had a girl, she was just boobs and her downstairs, none of the other stuff involved, girls wouldn't annoy you at all. At all. So we're more than that. Some of us know that we're more than that. I know that I'm more than that. If you really want to get a girl's attention, don't focus in on that. Because chances are, unless she's drunk or desperate or really, really, really horny, it's not going to work out so well for you. It's degrading and it's demeaning, and all you're going to do is piss her off, and she's going to be thinking of all the different ways to kill you, or at least, make sure that you wake up very confused in Norway. Not that I've done that before. They did pretty much everything wrong in that scenario. For one thing, group of guys accentuating on the nasties, and in front of my puppy. They get no brownie points. When I rule the world, they gonna go. Third example. I had just gotten my car back, and it was the day before I had to take exams. I had a minimum of 8 hours of studying to do because I missed one day of school. Mind you, just one day. I was stressed out. I had just gotten my period that morning. Guys, I know that's TMI, but deal with it. And I kept on getting called out to go do stuff for the grandparents that I live with. They're not my Mimi Poppy, they're my dad's parent. I went out to start my car, the battery was dead, so I had to charge it. And, well, I guess that means the battery was sleeping. It felt like everything in the world was conspiring against me. And then it was pouring down rain, my windows fogged up, and I couldn't get my windshield wipers to start working. My windshield and the defogger, it fogged up, so my windshield was so bad, it looked like somebody had painted it white. The only way I knew what side of the street I was on was because of the headlights coming at me from the other lane. I couldn't even see to pull over. But it finally defogged enough to the point where I could see to get into the gas station because I needed to fill up. So, I'm shaken, I'm frazzled, I am already just done. I am so done. And so I go inside to pay for my gas, and some guy, older than my dad but younger than my granddad, opens the door for me. And I'm like, oh, finally, I catch a break. So I smile, I'm like, thank you. And he says, oh, no problem, I just wanted to see the view as you went by. I'm like, what? The way I went from a smile to a raised eyebrow in half a second said it all, and he actually ran. First of all, if someone is being polite and thanking you for doing something for them, do not make it suddenly so rude. If someone's being polite, then the chances of her wanting to have some sort of a rude, flirty kind of reaction, no, not very likely. Second of all, if she's obviously, and trust me, it was obvious. I was almost in tears. I was so frustrated and upset. If it's obvious that she's already in a freaking bad mood, don't make it worse. Then move on. If on the off chance you do see her again, you can talk to her then. If she's obviously in a bad mood, nothing's gonna happen anyway. The moment is not there. Do not seize it. Otherwise, it's gonna freaking punch you in the face. Okay, another thing is that if you're gonna say something like that, at least have the courage to stick around and get chewed out. Would have made me feel so much better if I could have just verbally thrashed the guy. I wish I was a lesbian. If you want there to be a moment, wait for it. Don't make a moment. Girls do not like being ignored all the time and then suddenly being remembered because you're lonely. Girls don't want to be a booty call unless you pay them. If a girl gives you her number, don't just ignore her until you want some snoo-snoo. So if you do ignore her, she's going to get pissed off, whether or not she admits to it. She's going to look at you, she's going to smile, she's going to be convincing and fine. Oh, no, seriously, it's okay, I don't mind. I'm good with this kind of thing. Meanwhile, she's going to be like, I wonder if I've got a jar small enough to fit his penis inside once I detach it from his body. So she'll look all innocent and happy and okay, but really she's thinking of all the different ways to torture and kill you. That's not just me, that's with all girls. You've been warned. If you really, really like this girl, then not only are you going to talk to her more than just when it's convenient for you, you're not going to bombard her, because otherwise you're going to reek of desperation and come off as entirely too clingy. Don't smell like desperate. Hey, that's a great smell you've got on there. What is it? Ah, it smells like desperate. No, that odor is it's almost as clingy as you are. Girls don't want to come off as clingy, so, they like it when guys initiate, but on the other hand, they don't like clingy guys. He's going to tell you to put the lotion in the basket. When you're actually out with her, here's what you don't do. You don't just stare at her. She's going to think she's got something in her teeth. You're not communicating at all if you're just staring at her. And then every now and then, you're so pretty. You're so cute. God, you're cute. My God, you're so cute. Holy crap, you're so pretty. Seriously. If she asks you not to do something, then don't frickin' do it. It's going to be a big deal. So, it's not just about don't say stuff. There's other things involved where, for example, if she says, I don't want you to kiss me when we're watching the movie, that means I don't want you to kiss me when we're watching the movie. There's going to be plenty of time for the kissy facing later. If you really want to make out with a girl for hours on end, for God's sakes, shave your stubble so you don't give me a rug burn. Ow! If she says she doesn't want to kiss you, then don't try and kiss her. If she's okay with kissing you, but she says don't stick your tongue down my throat, then don't frickin' stick your tongue down her throat. Chances are, your mouth tastes like butt. She's probably going to win the arguments. And if it's something that she feels strongly about, you really should not push it. Girls want to be respected just as much as guys do. Unfortunately, girls also want to be loved, and they want to be loved more than they care about being respected. If a girl says she doesn't have an opinion on something, chances are you don't want it or she really doesn't have it. That doesn't happen very often with the doesn't have it. Girls are very opinionated. But if you're going to insist that she has to have an opinion, then that's wrong. If you're going to do something for a girl, make sure you're actually doing something and that you're not creating a problem to later fix just for the gratitude sex involved. That is dumb. Sex is not the right way to thank someone. Buy a freaking Hallmark card or make one. Bring them a cupcake that you made yourself. Has some of your DNA in it. That's almost close enough sometimes. Those are the wrong way to talk to women. I'm going to give you some good examples of how to talk to women. When I was 18, I went into a Sally's Beauty Supply. Lord of mercy, I found a straight guy. He worked there, and he was able to strike up the conversation by asking me, if I was finding everything all right. He was cute, man. So I was like, yeah, I'm finding everything okay. And he was able to tell that I was from out of town. He was able to start up a conversation appropriately. He didn't make me uncomfortable. We were able to talk about all kinds of different things in the short amount of time I was in there for an hour. You know, like we were talking about superheroes, that's always a safe bet. Because even if girls, you know, aren't totally comic book nerds, they're going to know about some superheroes because of the Avengers and Thor and whatnot. If there are hot guys involved, you best better believe girls are going to get involved. That guy, I would have gone out with. Another way is to let her approach you. That will happen from time to time. Letting a girl come up to you is acceptable. I mean, most of the time, a girl's probably going to want to be approached, but be in tune. If she's got her friends with her, probably not. If she keeps on looking at you and, you know, smiling, and if you can tell that she's, you know, into this, then yeah, probably go ahead. A guy that's going to be talking trashy right away is not worth our time. You know, it's important to pay attention. Body language is more than, ooh, look at that body. If a girl's like this, chances are she's interested. And she's like, chances are you're creeping the crap out of her. Or if she's like, chances are she's gonna get you laid tonight. Body language gives you all kinds of clues about life. If you're gonna be complimenting her, get creative. Don't just focus in on how pretty she is. You don't need to tell her that all day, every day. Find some other things to focus on. Think outside of the box. Girls like to know that you're gonna put some effort in for them. Just stick into the generic, God, you're so pretty, you're beautiful, oh honey, you're beautiful. That's not gonna mean as much to them as, you know, a well thought out compliment. Never, ever, 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 even if she is fat, call a girl fat. If you call a girl fat, she's gonna kill herself. Not always, but sometimes. Well, that's all the time we have for today, class. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Don't forget what you've learned. It'll help you in life, and it'll hopefully help you from getting a restraining order put against you. So, good day, goodbye, good night.
Right, turn off the lights, we gonna lose our minds tonight. What's the